to prime it with a colour, that's fine, don't bother. So we're just going to start off with the cobalt blue and white mixed together, and then if you mix up an orange as well and a pale pink with the magenta and the white. And I'm not going to put lots of detail in this sky because there's quite a lot to do, so I don't think I'm going to really attempt to do all these clouds. We'll just simplify it a little bit. So we start off at the top and just sweep your brush across. A lot of blue at the top. If you want to give it a little bit of texture, you can just mix a bit of white in here and there. A bit of dark blue here and there. And then it gets lighter as it comes down the page. Nearer to the horizon it gets a bit lighter. You might need to add a tiny bit of water to your brush because the paint is drying very, very quickly. So what I'm going to do, because the paint's drying quickly, if you've got a stripe like that and you want to soften it, just get a bit of water on your brush, not too much, and just go over it like that. We want some pink. And some white. And just soften the edges using a tiny bit of water. Then we want some yellow and some orange. Bits of orange, bits of magenta, bits of yellow. You can use your paint fairly thin because it doesn't matter if the magenta colour comes through. So I have simplified it quite a bit.
Different colours that you're trying to blend together, like light blue and orange.
mixed a purple now using the cobalt blue and magenta. If you haven't got cobalt blue, don't use cerulean because it's got green in it, so use ultramarine blue. If you've got a tube of purple, you can use that, but if you need to mix it, use ultramarine and magenta. I'm just going to put a thin line at the top here on the horizon. It can be quite a little bit wobbly. It's just fields in the distance. And you can use the same colour of this bit of road here. I'm just using it up while it's on my palette. Be on to greens next, unless if you've got a lot of blue left, blue and magenta, it would be sensible to use that up before it dries. Or you can keep it wet by putting another palette on top of it. I think I'll do that. too much out at any one time because it dries so quick that when you, especially in weather like this, when you come back to use it, it will have dried up. So it's always a bit of a trick when you're actually having to mix colours together. It all comes with practice really, and knowing how much paint you're going to need, so that you don't have lots left over, and also so that you don't have not enough. You see what I mean? Otherwise you're going to have to remix it. So it can be a bit tricky. There are ways of keeping acrylics wetter. I don't know if do you know of stay wet palettes? Yeah. Well, you can get these. They're a bit like this. They're trays like that, and they have blotting paper underneath, and then like a kind of tracing paper on top. And you wet the blotting paper, put the tracing paper on top, mix your paints on the tracing paper, and because of the damp underneath, it keeps them wet. And they have lids, but you can make your own. Just with a shallow plastic tub and a lid. So I'm going to do the greens. You'll need some sap green, cad yellow, yellow ochre, and cadmium red. Tiny bit cadmium red, not much at all. Sap green, cadmium yellow, yellow ochre, cadmium red, and then keep your other palette with you as well, because you might need a little bit of magenta.
So sap green, cad red, yellow ochre.
Yep.
What was the other one? Was that
Cad yellow. There isn't really. It's the primary red. Well, it looks like that. That's near enough. If the paint is the same colour as that, then that's near enough. That's just like that. So the first colour I've mixed up is quite a strange colour. Don't know if you can see right in the distance. The grass looks quite pinky. Yeah? So I've mixed in a tiny bit of magenta in with some sap green, and I've added a little bit of yellow to lighten it. And then I'm going to mix a light green, just using sap and cadmium yellow. And because these colours, this grass is in the distance of the landscape, so we need to knock it back a bit. That means we need to make it a bit duller. So to make that a bit more dull, take some of the brightness out of it, I'm going to add a little bit of yellow ochre. Tiny bit of white. And if you can see the difference there between that green and that green, this one's a lot more dull. So that'll recede into the background. washing my brush, after I put that funny green magenta colour on, pinky green, I'm going to put the second green on, but I'm going to let it pick up a bit of the colour from the previous application. So there are some areas where there's little bits of yellow, little bits of white. See if you can just pick a few out and brush them in. There's also some areas where the green is slightly darker, so you can just put little bits of darker green in. Working on this left hand side to begin with. Everyone okay? Anyone need a hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm mixing up this colour in the background. So I take you putting white in if it's not.
I made the original colour I made was sap green and magenta
Yeah.
with a bit of yellow in it,
Yeah.
and then I added some white to it to liven it.
So
I'll show you. I've got. That was my magenta and green, but I've got to mix some more up of that. And that is just sap green and yellow ochre. Yeah. And I've put a bit of white in that as well.
Yeah. Okay. And that's for your kind of other bits.
Yeah. For these little light bits here is that colour.
Yeah.
That backgroundy pink is the magenta with green, and these lighter bits I've just added white to this.
Yeah, so it's basically just using that base.
Yes.
And
varying the
colours in order to get the effect on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, okay. Are you going to aim for getting a bit of the grass in, or effect
Am I going
of
to
the
what?
grass?
Sorry. Yeah, I think I'll do this bit last though, because this bit needs to go sort of on top of this. This bit needs to go on top of this background.
Right, okay.
So
because there's almost 3 bits to it. That background, that, and then that.
Yeah. Well, I think we can do all this at once.
Yeah.
And maybe that bit there.
Yeah.
And then I think we're going to have to do the track.
And then add that.
And then add that grass at the end.
Okay.
Rachel, hello.
Hello.
I didn't hear you come in.
Sorry, old mate.
That's all right. Busy morning?
I'm readiness.
Ugh. Oh dear. When you're doing lots of different colours like this, you don't really need to wash your brush in between each colour, because it's fine if the colours just kind of merge into each other. And you can let little bits of the pink background come through as well if you want. That sometimes has a nice effect. if you are struggling to keep up, anyone, and feel like you're getting behind, you can always watch the YouTube tutorial afterwards if you want. You'll be able to hear all our scintillating conversation. So you can just, David and Dave, you can just pay for your drinks on your way out. In there, sort that out. Oh, you call it please.
Yes, I've kind of
Sometimes that's the best way to work. Yeah. Slap it on. Right, I think I'm going to stop there and wait till after break.